Well, well, well. What did I say? Last episode, I knew one of these bastards were going to get married, and look who it is, Filberta and Conrad. So that means within the next season or two, these guys are going to be getting some... She's going to get knocked up. She's going to get knocked up real soon. I know it's happening. I know it's coming. Oh, crap. Here it is. 'Tis the season. I'm a father in a game. Alright, I love that we can choose. Ain't that something, huh? I guess you could technically do that nowadays, can't you? And we're a boy. And we are going to be named... So I have a few names that I like to lean towards. Adamar is one. I just think it's a pretty badass name. Another one I really like is Otto. Where is it? Otto. I like Otto. I think that's super cool too. I do that a lot, I feel like. Adamar, I don't do too often. I'm just going to go Adamar. That's a cool one, man. That's a cool name. Not going to overthink it. I think it's a badass name. Adamar it is. What a gangster he is. Alright, anyway, guys, welcome back. Episode 21. Back to games. Coming at you. Now a father in the game. Look at that. We've accomplished it all. We have a wife. We have a baby. Woohoo! Now we just got to keep building, man. But here we are. As you guys know it, man, it's my favorite season. And boy, does it look freaking beautiful out here. This is absolutely freaking gorgeous. Look at all those trees that have finally grown back. Look at that beautiful forest looking over our amazing farm. Let me go check that out. See what's going on over here in the farm. Man, got a lot of good stuff. What we got here? Rye. Got some rye. I got some rye. Yup, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Alright. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is it. What do we got? I don't think we have anything over here, though, right? That's not till summer. At least I don't think it's until summer. Yeah, nothing there. Alright, anyway, man, spring's fun. Here's another fun thing to check out, though. Some of these trees are finally starting to grow. I do like that. What do we have here? We got the pear trees. We got some plums, some cherry, and then some apple. That looks good. And they're finally growing. I like that too. Looks very nice. But damn, man, spring is beautiful. I love the colors, the vibrancy, the trees. I was wondering how this tree would turn out. I think this one was still chopped down last time. I like the location of this, but I don't like that. That's stupid. So, see you later, tree. I'd much rather get rid of you. You're also a stupid, tiny, ugly one. So, yeah. No sentimental value to you. Thank you very much. We get all of this. And let's make sure you never come back. Boom. I had a feeling this one was going to be tall enough to where that wasn't going to be an issue, and that is true. So that one looks cool. That one actually makes sense. Casts a nice little shade on it. I actually like that one. That one looks good. But alright. So, anyway, we left off last episode. We had our fishing hut built. We got our house built for our herbalist and our hunter, who I would assume are definitely here by now. Have to be here by now, right? Oh yeah, they're already at work. They're already getting to work. We love to see that. So things are looking good, man. Things are looking really good. Let's level up some points here. Definitely want to get tracker. I like that. Surprised I haven't gotten that yet. Silly me. I do also like this one. Additional resources from animals. That one's very helpful. Jump over to survival. What do we got here? I do like that, honestly, because if I don't have to worry about drinking and eating as frequently, that's just very convenient. And over here, as you guys know, I don't care too much about this because I do the instant build anyway. So the stamina is not an issue. I think this one will be nice to have. And I'm just going to, I guess, go through the stamina one anyway. Might as well load that up. Perfect. No more choices there anyway since we are level 10. Beautiful. I have my son. He is a day old, essentially. Everyone's looking pretty good. Where's Sully Rat at? He's finally up at 53% happiness. These guys, were unhoused until the end of last season there, so they're going to finally start getting happy. But everyone is in a stone house. We have a hunter. We have our herbalist hut. Man, this looks freaking nice. I really, really like how this looks in here. See, I love having trees. Another little tip for you guys, I know I probably mentioned this already before, but making sure you actually have trees and you try your best not to, you know, take them all down when you're building your village is super important. Like, this looks really nice. And it's like I knew this tree was taken down not long ago. And just last season we were looking at it, and I left it right there. It's cutting it close. I mean, it's peeking through, but I don't hate it. I mean, I do have the seedling, funny enough, so I could absolutely plant one. I think it takes a year or two for it to grow. But I'm not hating that. I mean, it's still like a nice piece of shade right in their front yard. I mean, in reality of real life, I mean, you don't really want a tree that close to your house anyway, because God forbid that falls, it's going to ruin your roof. You know, a real life piece of advice for you guys. But not a big deal for the game, so I'm not worried about that. All right, and that herbalist hut, we got our berries right here. You know what? Let me help her out, just for fun. I haven't collected any berries yet in this playthrough. I could definitely get a good chunk of them right here and help her out. I know she's going to bring in like 300 this spring, which is nice. But I'm going to help her. I'm going to help her real quick. This won't take long. I'm also trying to think, what else am I going to do this episode and this day. So just help me consider real quick. But boom, boom, boom. Look at that. 83 berries. I'm also an idiot. I just forgot that they're all unripe and I can't do anything with them. You are not supposed to pick unripe berries. You're supposed to wait until summer, which is actually what she is supposed to do. She's out picking other things. Never mind. For those who just watched episode 20, this is literally back-to-back. I am still in the crazy mindset that I was last episode, so pay no attention to me. That was a waste of time. Not necessarily, though. What I could actually do is I could put these over by the food storage, and I can drop them on the ground. Not put them in the food storage, but drop them on the ground outside of the food storage, because then they're going to spoil on the turn of the season. Is this Deadly Nightshade? No? Alright, tricked me. But on the turn of the season, it's going to be completely spoiled and rotten, if you will. And then that way I can use it as fertilizer. I'm only going to get like, what, 10 fertilizer out of it. It's not a whole lot there, but not a bad deal. There we go. Perfect. Just sitting there real nice. And yeah, come summer, we'll come grab that. Alright, let's get a game plan here for episode 21 and what we want to accomplish and what we want to get done. I'm pretty freaking happy with things so far. I mean, if I go down the list, go through my buildings, I have a good chunk of houses. I have enough for every single villager, right? If I go over to extraction, I have my 2 woodshed numbers 2s, and I have my excavation shed. I do want to get another guy on the excavation shed. I know that is important. I only have 1 right now. I know back at Piastovia, or it might have been Skokie as well, there were definitely some level 3 extraction guys, so I really want to, you know, get those guys coming over here. If I get 1 more guy in the excavation shed, that would be nice. I do want to keep building my building technology up, because I'm not super far from the mine, so let's consider that for today. I wouldn't mind getting someone in the fishing hut. I need to find another, another person that does survival, and they can do that for me. And then farming is pretty good. I know I have like 3 guys farming right now. The windmill's not unlocked. I mean, there's nothing else crazy going on there. I might have to step in towards the end of this, the season. Maybe help out a little bit. I mean, I've got my pigs. I wouldn't mind building a hen house, though, truthfully. I actually have been considering building one up at my property on the top of the hill there. I think it'd be kind of fun for me to have the hen house. If I remember correctly, what is my wife? What does she do? What does she got going on for her? Yeah, she's good at hunting and farming, so I was honestly going to probably end up having her just look after the hen house up on my property there. So I might also try and get that done today. That's not going to take long. And we're not far at all from the fold. I actually really want to get these guys going as here soon too, because that's what's going to bring in our wool. I really want wool because later in the game, one of my favorite things to build for decoration is the light posts. And I'm talking about the nice light posts, the one that actually look like real lanterns, you know, hung on a thing. Those ones are legit and they look really cool, but you need wool for those, and it takes a while to get wool. So we want to get these guys going as soon as I possibly can. We're not far from unlocking them. It might actually happen this season because there's going to be a ton of farming going on this season, and I should probably help out with that farming to really solidify that. Last but not least, these 2. It's going to take a while for the apiary. And that one's not as difficult to set up. You know, it's a small little thing, but it's really cool to unlock that. And I do want the cow shed as well. But similar to my other things there, finding a location for those is going to be the real pain in the ass. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it for sure. I still don't have a kitchen, funny enough. And we're still very far away from the tavern, which does suck. I do need to get that technology production up. Let me real quick check something out here. Is it production? I think it's the production one, right? Yeah. So what do? Develop this by crafting and cooking. Okay. So keep that in mind. I just did a lot of cooking last episode with all that meat, so that probably jumped me up a good chunk. But crafting, so making things, I really do want to start stepping up on that. I know the cooking is easy, but crafting is a big one too, so I might want to dip into doing some more blacksmithing. I might want to do another run through the freaking the goddamn mine. There we go. Alright, we're just doing some rounds here, guys. I'm just checking to see where I'm at with everything. I don't even have a wood shop built yet either. I would definitely like to build that. I don't have guys that'll be working on these things yet, of course, but getting them built. I could definitely upgrade to a smithy level 2. I think would be nice. I have the sewing hut level 2 already, which is cool. And then when I build a kitchen, I'll definitely just build kitchen number 2. And obviously when I get the wood shop, I'm going to get the wood shop number 2. So I want to get those up and running. I don't care for the market stalls yet. I've got a little ways to go there. I don't need the builder's hut either. And resource storages are looking good too. I mean, if anything, I can upgrade that one to a level 2, but not really necessary. So for right now, the main thing I want to look at, first and foremost, is my farm and where my automation is at. I know I've already gone through a spring already with a lot of stuff going on, but I just want to make sure everything looks good. I'm jumping up here. Let me look at my main fields here. So this is 4, 5, 6, and I imagine 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3, spring. So I don't have much going into this one yet. I want to get... Well, I really want to get this set up for good. So spring, I want this one to be all wheat. Now, oh shit, did I not save that? Dang it. I thought I saved that. Get all wheat going there. Boom. Save. Now, 4. This one is going to be, excuse me, all oat. Perfect. Boom. And 5, I want all flax. Boom. Save. And then 6, so I generally like to have 2 of them all flax. I think the 1 wheat and the 1 oat is like plenty. And then having all flax for the last ones, I mean, is absolute overkill, but it's how to really get a ton of flax going and get a ton of money, which is really nice. I think those are over by the houses. That's why I'm like losing track of what's going on here. Field 7. Right now. So we got carrots and beetroot. Let's get them all. Let's get all beetroot here, honestly. Yeah, let's get all beetroot. Then field 8. I want to get all onion. Boom, boom, boom. Field 9. Let's get that carrot. And field 10. Let's go all cabbage. Oh. Alright. So, what I wouldn't mind doing, because that's all these other like little fields right here that I just kind of set up. They're not huge. I think it'd be really not behoove of us to actually utilize this space right here. So let me open this up. Get this lined up here as best I can. Go. I really want to put a couple others right here actually, because I want to have like more carrots, things like that. Yeah, I like that. That looks better. That's a pretty good sized field right there too. And then I'm thinking we'll even do one more right here. My OCD a little bit, but obviously this one's a little bit off the path here. I don't hate the idea of it being like a little bit over and not up with it, because that's not lined up either. That's just like right over there, but I want to have enough space where this is like justified. But yeah, that's not bad. That looks pretty good. Alright, so then what's this one? This is field 12. Now go into here. That's a big one. So I honestly think it'd be really nice to have like a poppy one in here. But I'm fine with doing that for the smaller one. But I think on this guy, another thing I really like to have is tons of cabbage for sure. So let's do that. Let's go back over here real quick. So these are the smaller ones. So the 5-7 is the carrots. And then the onion or beetroot, I think. Then what's this one again? That's the onion. The other one's the beetroot. And then this guy, I think we did cabbage. So this one I said cabbage. I don't hate that. And then for 13, not a huge one. I might just do more carrots, to be honest with you. Although I could plant... The other thing, too, about like the cabbage and like the catch-22 is like you can also plant those in the summer. You know what? Let me do this. Let's go back over here. Let's make this one all carrots. Because realistically, but the other thing too is what sucks is there's not a lot of things that can actually be, what's the word I'm looking for here? Harvested. It's only the onions that get harvested in the summer. So it's like this one, for example, summer, it'll be harvested, and then I can actually plant more cabbages right there. So I like that. And then if I go back over here, this was the carrots. And if you go to the other carrots, and then this one was the cabbage, then again, same idea. Let's do the cabbage again, back to back. We have tons of cabbage coming in. And then 13 is a really small one. Truthfully, I'm just going to do poppy. Why not? Let's have a little poppy growth there. You can do some things with those, nothing crazy, but it's just kind of nice to have that. It looks a lot bigger in person, what it really is right there, but no, it's definitely not. Because we're trying to utilize all this other unnecessary, other unused space right here, if you will. Do I have a hoe on me? Yes, I do. Let's help out. Let's get our farming level up real quick. I'll just fast forward this as I, rip this up. Just to kind of help out a little bit. Bring up my farming level there. So I'm super close. Look at that. We're already almost there. It's definitely going to happen this season because they are doing so much farming. So you do get a little bit of XP for the actual guys that are doing the farming, which is really nice. I think I mentioned that already before, but so I think we should very shortly unlock the fold. When we do unlock that, that is going to be the priority. And honestly, it'd be really nice to unlock that right about now. Give me something real good to work on here. There's definitely... There it is! Look at that, baby! I knew it! I had a feeling. I was like, we were close, and if I get in here and I help out, that's gonna freaking do it! There we go. There's the goal for the rest of this episode. You guys can tell I had no plan going into this one. I was like, I knew I wanted to finish up the winter there. I knew what was going on there, but the spring, there's always just so much to do. And sometimes it can be very overwhelming, believe it or not. There's still a lot I do want to get done. So, I mean, this like I said, I'm not giving up on this, freaking playthrough. Like I said, times have just been a little bit more challenging on my end with life and so on and so forth. So, getting the time to play, when I do play, I'm trying to be, I want to have a purpose here. I want to really know what I'm trying to get through and get done. So, yeah, you got to bear with me. But look at all this rye grain I'm about to get. This is so much. So much. Freaking 1,300 straw, 2,600 rye grain. We're rolling in this crap. That's the stuff that eventually, I eventually like to really sell. Believe it or not, it becomes really easy and nice to sell in the future. Real quick, can I actually make some more fertilizer while I'm right here? Because I know I had that 60 manure from the piggies from last episode. I want to put that to work, and then whatever else I got. So we got tons of fertilizer. Let's toss that in here. So they're good for a little bit. How much we got in here, by the way? 167. Okay, okay. Got the rye grain, all the straw, some sticks. Get all this stuff in here. Alright, perfect. Well, now the main mission at hand, which is important. So I really want to get this done. Where are those sheep going to go? This is not an easy one to accomplish, guys. Not an easy one to accomplish at all. I'm really trying to, like, think outside the box here. There's this whole area right here that I'm really not opposed to, because it's like, I know this is like the King's Road, and I remember, like I mentioned, like, part of me does not want to, like, utilize too much of this location. Let me go see what's going on over here again. I'm pretty positive I've looked at this location many times, and it's just, look at that, it's a fucking, God, I'm sorry for the language, but it's very valid at this point, because this is how I feel every time I look at this massive hill. It is making it very difficult to try and utilize this location. Now, again, what's funny is sheep. In real life, I know they love pastures, and I know they actually do like to be, you know, they don't mind walking around on hills and stuff like that, right? So, not a bad area. As I come further down here, though, it flattens out, which is nice. But what I would love to see, and again, I like having the trees in place, but I know also a lot of, like, fold and sheep of sorts, they want to be, like, you know, they want to have open pasture, open field, be able to, like, kind of run around in. So let me see right here. If I'm leaning, like, right in this realm, let me work some magic real quick. Let me do some things. Something. The pathway going over here. I just want to see if this will work out the way I'm trying to think about it here. I have this road, but right through all this brush. Let's get that out of there. Boom. How's that look on here? Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. Kind of setting them up right there. Got the woodshed. But what I'm thinking is if I do a pretty good, you know, excavating job right here. This is not an awful location, albeit if I can find a spot to put these guys, which thankfully, obviously going, that's just crazy. I don't know if I'd want to do that to them, but this will work. So let me do that. Let me fast forward for a second here, guys. There's going to be a good chunk of fast forward in this episode. We've got a lot of little, like, laborious things going on. But I really want to open this whole area up. Also, just kind of get rid of these, get rid of that. Perfect. Yeah, I really just want to open this area up because I want to kind of create like a pasture for them. I, of course, want to keep like some trees in the area, but I do want to knock down a good little chunk of some. That way, it's, again, it just creates like this open pasture that I would assume, you know, most sheep would want to have, like running around, roaming around, you name it. But I also do want to make sure there's still like some shade for the little guys as well. Get tons of logs. It's kind of fun sometimes when you're doing the excavating yourself here a little bit. Then it does just give you a huge little influx of actual logs. Like that. Like that. Perfect. Alright, I'm going to fast forward here. Okay. So here's what I've got. I kind of like the look of this. Again, in realism of, you know, somewhat, I like to try and think about it like this. You know, the sheep usually like to have a pretty good sized pasture, and this is a huge little piece of land right here that I think would be really nice to kind of be considered the sheep's pasture. Possibly depending on where we're at with everything, you know, when the time comes, if I can even possibly fit like some cow in here as well, maybe push it a little further over there and just make this my kind of makeshift like big farm that I'll really just have the sheep and the cows in, right? I'll have the chickens up there and I've got my pigs over here. So I don't hate that idea. We'll kind of see. A lot of these things are still TBD a little bit, but I love the location that I actually found here. This works. It doesn't seem like too crazy, and it's kind of like when you're coming up here, it's, you know, on the back side of these guys, and it's like right on the edge of where their little thing's going to be, so it's like they have tons of shade right here. But then I opened up a good chunk of this. I left a couple trees, so that way they're not left with nothing. So depending on the time of day, there should be a good amount of sun coming in here. And I think the sheep will really like that. I really do. So, give me 1 second real quick. Alright, perfect. I just want to take a quick check, about 30 minutes in here, which is pretty good timing. I mean, I think I've had the whole day of spring. I'm okay with grabbing, let me see, I don't have a whole lot of money though either. This is the other thing I was looking at, so I'm kind of falling back on my money. I do have some things I could sell. Actually, I have that one thing. Unless I run through my actual resource storage and just go through and see. Oh yeah, and these helmets. Okay, I think I could be fine. If I go and sell off these helmets and that dice set, I should be able to afford all these sheep with no issues. So I might end the video with this. I'm going to build that, the freaking, whatever they call it, the fold. I'm going to go to sleep, and in the morning, we are going to wake up, and we're going to run to, I believe they are in Astoria. We got to go to Astoria, and we're going to get all those guys. But what do I need? I need 62 sticks, which I have on me. I need 19 logs, which I have on me. And I need 10 stone and 32 straw. Let's get that. 32 straw. Where are you? Got tons of straw. So I just need 32 of it. And 10 stone. You know what? Let's be resourceful here. Boom. 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 Grab all my 10 stone real quick right off the... I don't want the sticks, but I guess I'll just take them. Yeah, it takes 2 seconds. To hell with it. Let the stone just keep getting built up. Alright, so I actually have a little path right here. I'm trying to wonder, you know, sometimes I don't like to go too overkill with pathways, but there's also like one of those situations where it's like kind of makes sense. You know, just have like a little boop, 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 boom. Kind of branch up and around, like, and go both directions here now from that little entrance. I kind of like that. That works out. Not stupid entirely. Wings are right here. Boom. 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 So tedious. This is why I like the fast building, by the way. Especially when you have these buildings right here, which is a bunch of these little walls that I otherwise would have to hit 9 times each time. That'd become a lot. Especially the bridges. If you'd noticed, like, one of those bridges required 14 logs when I was building the fishing hut. God, that's annoying. Especially when you're trying to make some big ones. I mean, you're talking clicking 100 times sometimes to build some stuff. So, nice to not have that. But alright, here we go. I should have grabbed some animal feed, actually, just to have that ready to go. Another thing I really do want to get going at some point here, I keep forgetting I have these hedges. Would love to see about those. Oh yeah! It's also the turn of the season, to bounce off of episode 19 there. Now we finally are in a different season between 19 and 20. When I go to Piastovia, I'll stop over there, because I gotta jump on the Wagoneer to go to Astoria. I'm gonna check out the vendor and see about how much some of these things cost. But anyway, going back over here. So the fences, plank fences, I usually like to do like these wooden fences or these types of fences, which I can unlock those ones right now, which is nice, but not a super huge priority right this second. But I do like to have the fences, of course, built when I'm you know, making my little farms, if you will, of the little guys. Also, really, I'm like right here. I know this is gonna kill me. I really want to adjust this. I know this is like the main road is kind of like right there. I get it, but let me see here real quick. Grab that right there. Do a straight shot going into there. Then that way it's kind of like turned down this way, but this is like the straight shot kind of coming through. Yeah, that just looks a little bit more, that looks more legit. Like now this is kind of like another main road coming up and around. So I really like how, honestly, some of the roads are coming together, and in a way they're like, I like to think they look pretty natural. That's what I'm trying to accomplish here, is like a natural, like, place the roads where you need the roads. I know some people like to sometimes just create these layouts even before, you know, you're building, which, I mean, to a degree, you know, that happens for sure, you know, especially in modern, you know, infrastructure and building and things like that. But for old school medieval era days, I don't know. I don't think they did that necessarily all the time. I mean, I imagine, of course, they, you know, surveyed areas, but it's like they built when they needed to build, where they needed to build it. I like to assume. I could be wrong. Anyway, let's go to sleep. Get on my noble steed, and let's run over to Piastovia. I'm still wearing my winter clothes. Run in here real quick. Put a lot of this stuff away. I do need those, but that. Oh, no, not those. But that. Perfect. Infantry. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Alright, now I'm not freaking jacked up in winter clothes here. Where's my pony? Where's my steed? Yeah, for real, where is he? Are you over here? Oh my god. Jesus Christ, there's way easier way you could have gone than that. Can I even ride you up this thing? No, I can't. How'd you get up this? God. That's the route you decide to take? Oh my lord. Alright, anyway, before I mess up like I did last time, because again, it's been a minute.
Move on!
Move on! Let's just take a quick skippity-roo. Up this way, let's jump onto this road here. I think this one's going to take me right into Piastovia. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to fast forward to Piastovia. Let's check out the vendor, and then take a quick wagoneer ride over to Astoya for some fold. We're back in Piastovia. And we frequent this place. Alright, so from my knowledge, it's between this guy and Markislaw that should have the things we need, or not need right now, but want. Let's roll through here, but let me sell some things to him. Starting with that. I don't care for that vase either. I definitely should have thought, I should have grabbed some more stuff back at the village to possibly sell. But this should be fine for now. So let's go all the way down to the end here. What does this guy sell now? Does he? I could have swore I read somewhere that he sells mastic gum. That's funny. If anyone knows, that's a real thing. People chew that stuff. It's supposed to be mewing. Okay, here we go. So he does sell this stuff. That's crazy. So in the resource storage here, a majestic tree seedling. What's that? Freaking 240 bucks. Green shrub, a hedge seed. Okay, so the hedges, those are what they actually build hedges. He only has 41 of them, and just for fun, it'd be $1,000 to buy out all of them this season. So that's pretty interesting. A white flower shrub. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy a small evergreen. I'm gonna buy that. I want to buy one of each, just to test them out and see what they are. I want to plant them. So he has that stuff. Now if I go over to Markislaw, who is being a little lazy today there, Markislaw. You're not at the stand quite yet. Were you taking a shit? Maybe. Maybe. Let's see what he has. Does he have any of the new stuff? Let's roll through here. Guess not. Maybe it is only... Yeah, I guess it's just that guy. Because... for the fences, yeah, these hedges. The hedge seed, low, tall. Then for decorations... the majestic tree. I didn't buy that one, 'cause it's 240 freaking whatever. But these evergreens, I'll have to test that out. I wonder what the majestic tree looks like. I bet you that's a cool looking tree. I wonder where I'd want to put that though. I'm just not too worried about it right this second. And then these are all the shrubs. I'm curious to see what these look like as well. So yeah, you just gotta buy them all from him. But of course, he only has a select few. Ooh, we need more water. Top left there, our villagers are running low on water. Alright, we got a lot going on. Shit's fucking... God, I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep swearing. I'm usually better about that. Tried my best throughout this whole series to not swear as often, but...
It's time for a beverage.
Oh, tough. Got quite the sailor mouth on me.
Hello there.
Hello there, Wagoneer. To Astoria we go. I actually didn't even sell all those helmets. Dang it, forgot about that. Let me sell those off to these guys. Let me see. Sometimes the sheep are over here in this little pasture. And if they're not, they're actually over by their little house. Which will be over here. Which conveniently works out, because I got to meet up with one of these ladies to sell some goods. You buy only one of them. Alright. Thank you. Where's the other lady? Right in here? In her little house? You're sleeping? Get up! My god. It's freaking... Are you kidding me? It's gotta be like 10 a.m. God, Markislaw, her, they're all being lazy. Alright, because yeah, these guys are pretty expensive. Crap, I actually forgot about that. I really did not remember them being that expensive. But, if we go over here, way cheaper. Just to buy the little babies. But if you notice, that's what I was kind of going to say, you can have a lot of them. So if I buy the freaking full-grown ones, I mean, geez, it's going to run me dry. I want to buy at least 2 full-grown guys to where they can start making babies for me. I mean, I do have the money for that. Perfect, there we go. Now we're down to $1,000. Alright, but I've got 1,200, you know, when I can sell. This lady will wake up. Oh, there you go. Finally woke up. Thank you, idiot. God, sleeping in. There we go. Alright, back up to $2,300. So not bad. And we now have 6 sheep. So these guys will grow up within the next season or 2. And then they'll all start making babies to fill out, because you can actually have quite a lot of them. So if we go down here to the fold, yeah, you can have 12. So I don't want to buy any more though. So the goal is at this point to let them procreate. Obviously, you know what I mean, to get the rest of them, because they're expensive. For the full-grown ones, it's 900 coin. And that adds up. I mean, obviously, they only need to be bought once. I mean, eventually they do die. You know, I actually have never played that long into the game. Shame on me. To actually have any of my animals ever die, which is really funny, because I think they all last quite a long time. But once you go, like, into the next generation, like 30 some odd years into your dynasty and into your village, I mean, I'm sure some of them will eventually start dying, but once you own them and they start growing on their own, I mean, you should be good. Anybody here? Any takers? Any takers? Not one person. It's a farmer. Dang it. God, I'm thirsty too. Let me just grab a drink before this guy starts crabbing on about it. Alright, I'm running late on this video. I actually ran a lot later on episode 20 than I was expecting. That was like a 45-minute video, and I'm trying to not be 45-minute videos. But it happens. You get into it. It is fun. Having fun. So anyway, let's go to Skokie real quick. I just want to try and find a farmer to get on the fold. I really want to get that going as soon as possible so they can start building their skill level up. By the time I have 12 sheep in there, if they're like level 10, they'll actually, excuse me, start bringing in, there we go, Carolina. They'll actually start bringing in quite a lot of fold on a daily basis, which is definitely necessary. Alright, a lot of stuff to do. Top left there, we got a lot of issues at back of the village that need to get taken care of here. So that's going to all get done next episode. So I'm going to pretty much leave it right here, guys. Let me hold on. Let me call my noble steed. There it is. Alright, beautiful. I'm going to literally stop right here, guys. So on the start of episode 22, we're going to run back into the village, and we're going to take care of everything going on the top left. Got to build a house now for that new villager to start working on the fold. I think we got to get water for the villagers. Got to get some animal feed for the fold. There's a good chunk of things that got to get done. So I'll see you guys back in episode 22. Thank you so much for watching. MacDad Games.